Hey YouTube, man, we back with another reaction video, man. Your boy TJ, man, back with another video. Damn, bro, like this shit don't stop, bro. Nigga gonna try to drop like every day, bro. Y'all niggas make sure y'all subscribe. Damn, nigga don't subscribe. Nigga don't fuck with a nigga, cuz. Nigga dropping all these videos and shit. Nigga ain't fucking with a nigga, guys. Come on, fam. Subscribe for a nigga, fam. I'm just playing, bro. We get into the video, though, bro.
Single year, we see the
NFL
NFL season
coach
chew up a
fired.
segment of
Damn.
its head coaches.
I think he's a heck of a coach, but I think his
Fine,
time
Dave
potentially may be done
Yeah,
there
his
with the
bald
Giants.
ass need to be fired, fam. I ain't gonna lie. Giants. Y'all would never, y'all ain't been the same since Eli Manning, Brown Odell, bro. Y'all niggas trash.
How about we take a look at the season?
Y'all did go to the division round that one year with Daniel Jones. Y'all thought y'all had a QB. Oh yeah, we went to the division round. Y'all paid him dookie booty ass.
To come and
Giants.
see if we can identify
Y'all
10
ass.
NFL coaches that'll be
Gotta fire
fired
that
before
coach.
the
Y'all
end of
got
the
Jackson. Y'all might
2025
do something this
season.
year, though.
Raheem Morris, Atlanta
Jackson Dart.
Falcons. Raheem Morris waited 14 years
doubt
for a
it, though,
second
but-
head coaching shoot, and unfortunately, he might not have much time to hang on to it. Morris inherited a talented, if uneven, Falcons roster, and a major quarterback controversy centered around their big-ticket man and Kirk Cousins and the second-year signal caller Michael Penix Jr., who usurped him last year. The biggest red flag about Morris's
At first, I
actual
ain't
performance thus far
understand
has
that,
been
though,
the
like the Kirk Cousins shit. Like I ain't like y'all signed Kirk Cousins to that big deal, and then y'all drive Penix. I was like, what the fuck y'all drafted Penix for? Y'all got Kirk, but Penix
details
started
around
off,
game
but back then, I
management,
ain't really
particularly the
understand it.
clock. This was put on display in a brutal Week 17 collapse that played a major role in Atlanta missing the postseason.
Penix
If Morris has
85.
more blunders beneath the national spotlight,
Daniels was
well,
gonna
we
be that
could see him
dude,
get
though.
pushed out and forced into a coordinator role elsewhere once
a
again.
rookie, though. He
Shane
was looking like a
Steichen,
veteran out
Indianapolis
there, like-
Colts. Shane Steichen inherited a rather murky situation in Indy, and to his credit, he managed to keep the Colts
Got a
competitive in
coach,
2024,
right, the coach,
coaxing just enough
trash,
moments of
bro.
competence out of Anthony Richardson and whoever else ended up under center despite a deeply undercoached passing game.
AR-15, I don't see him as
Unfortunately,
like a
most
good
all of the
quarterback,
goodwill
he
earned from
trash,
that
bro.
overachieving first year has
Mm,
started
wow.
to fade out. And now they're heading into the 2025 season without much to show for Steichen's tenure. And with the organization's decision to roll the dice on Daniel Jones,
signed
that
Daniel
Daniel Jones, as a supposed stabilizer. This isn't necessarily about Steichen's
Damn,
playbook.
Jones
X's and
and
O's wise,
AR-15
he's
got
done a good job.
quarterback.
It's all about optics, timing, and, well, volatility. Jim Irsay's patience is starting to wear thin, and in many ways, Steichen is simply on the wrong side of general manager Chris Ballard's seemingly unlimited leash and incompetence. Steichen is not the problem here, but coaches in his spot rarely get the benefit of the doubt. He's caught between a desperate front office and an erratic owner. Two forces that
Coach,
tend
y'all
to crush
haven't
the
been
middleman.
good since like I don't know, cuz.
Come on, Mufasa, let's get in some trouble.
Mike McDaniel, Miami Dolphins. If
Here we go with
2025
this
brings
team.
more of the
but I ain't
same that
gonna
we've
lie,
seen
bro.
down in Miami
This
since Mike
season, Mike
McDaniel took
McDaniel,
over,
bro, you don't step up, bro.
injuries,
You-
late
you
season
get- you need to
fade-outs, or
get
playoff
fired, bro. I ain't
whimpers,
gonna lie, bro.
McDaniel could join the long list of brilliant play callers who never quite made the leap to sustainable head coach. His vision of a high-powered, dynamic, and creative offense is very clear. The results? A little less so. It's unfortunately starting to seem like he might be more of a
Anytime we play a
one-trick pony
team
more
that's
than
over
anything else.
500,
That
bro,
trick,
like,
of
you
course,
act like
is
you don't
speed
know
and
what to
space
do.
with
You
Tua
don't know what to
Tagovailoa
call,
pulling the
bro.
trigger. But designing an offense to work only if your quarterback avoids any
That's
contact
all I'm saying. Then you gotta worry about this nigga, bro, getting injuries and shit. Like, I don't even think it's about the team winning the Super Bowl. It's more about how can we protect Tua, bro. It's not even about the team, bro. It's more about how can we protect this fragile ass nigga, bro. Like, damn, bro. Like, this nigga getting concussions all the time. I ain't gonna lie, you get one more concussion too, you need to retire, bro, for your health. Like, real shit, bro. And then Quinn Ewers gonna take over this shit, bro.
is not sustainable. That is playing football
Quinn
on
Ewers, bro.
eggshells.
I
The
believe in
aforementioned
Quinn.
injuries, of course, have been a huge issue for McDaniel.
Now, you don't
When
know
Tua
Quinn
plays,
might-
McDaniel is
Quinn might
25
come
and
out looking like
16.
85.
Without him,
You
the
never
Dolphins
know,
are
man.
just ordinary.
He was
and that's
great
the
at
problem.
Texas.
And it's made all the more severe by his inability to schematically keep Tua out of harm's way. The reality is that at some point, the Dolphins have to evolve beyond the Tua tether. And if they can't find a way to compete in a meaningful way in 2025 and the wheels come off mid-season, well,
Had to
don't
get
be
us a
shocked if
backup
McDaniel
quarterback,
gets
Skylar
the boot.
Thompson.
Kellen
Oh,
Moore,
I
New
don't know how
Orleans
Skylar
Saints.
Thompson-
Kellen Moore has been one of the NFL's favorite
The
next head
fucking
coach in
NFL,
waiting
bro.
for
We
what
need to go
feels
work at
like,
fucking
I don't know,
Polo
half a
Tropical or
decade.
some
But
shit, bro.
now that he finally
He got
has
some
the job,
beans or some
well,
shit, 'cause NFL ain't- Get up. I don't know how
Context
the
couldn't
fuck
be
you said
messier,
it.
and
That
you
nigga
gotta think
terrible.
that he's kicking himself for not jumping at a different opportunity sooner. The Saints are fresh off a very turbulent season that saw Derek Carr ravaged by injuries yet again, and now he's announced his retirement unexpectedly, leaving
Derek
more with a
Carr
roster
did
full of
retire,
mismatched
damn.
pieces and few clear
I ain't gonna lie,
solutions
that
under center.
stink. Yeah, that
is
shit-
not an
I ain't
ideal
gonna lie, that
setup for a
shit-
first-year coach trying to prove.
I'm glad that fucked me up though, bro. Like I know I keep pausing the video, but that fucked me up though. Y'all picked him over Shadir Tyler, Shine, whatever his name is. But I don't give a fuck,
That he is
Y'all
more
picked
than
this
just a
nigga
young
over
offensive
Shadir.
mind with a good PR team.
I don't
Unless
care what
Moore can
nobody
get
say, Shadir
immediate
did not
buy-in from a
deserve to
locker
go
room and
fifth round,
flux
but
and
that
get something
shit-
tangible
that shit
out of
crazy.
whoever ends up playing quarterback, this could
Mo
end up
had to
being a
go on.
one-year experiment that flames out fast. Brian Schottenheimer, Dallas Cowboys. All right, here's a bit of a hot take for you. Brian Schottenheimer is not going to even make a full season as the Dallas Cowboys head coach. That franchise has been spiraling as of late, and this is the season that everything flushes down the tubes
Cowboys, bro.
entirely. And Schottenheimer will end up being on the wrong side
Look
of
good
that.
in the regular season,
Because,
fold in
let's
the
be
playoffs.
honest, Brian Schottenheimer was not hired to be the
Y'all
head
really need
coach
to
of the
fire
Dallas
Jerry
Cowboys.
Jones.
He was hired to be a convenient, controllable extension of Jerry Jones. Look, that's not a knock on Schottenheimer's decades of NFL experience. It's just cold hard fact, because when your last offensive coordinator stint was as forgettable as Schottenheimer's, it's hard to justify the sleep unless someone upstairs decides that they wanted a yes man. That someone, of course, is Jones, who hasn't truly empowered a strong-willed head coach since Bill Parcells. Furthering the issue for Schottenheimer, the Cowboys aren't exactly built to win now, but their owner just doesn't understand that. This team is wildly uncompetitive for the next year.
I mean, you
but
paid. Hold on.
owner just doesn't understand that. This team
I mean, you paid this jackass $60 billion. You gave this nigga like the highest paid quarterback in the league, bro. I can name 5 quarterbacks better than this nigga, bro. $60 million. Not that good though. Like in the regular season, he'll be good. It's just the playoffs. These niggas in the playoffs, they act like they don't know how to play.
is wildly uncompetitive for the next year. But Jones has deluded
You gave
himself into
that
thinking that
wild-faced
this
motherfucker
move
$60
can ascend
million?
the Cowboys back to forgotten glory. But the more likely outcome is that they underperform, at least to his standards. Jones gets impatient, and Schottenheimer ends up getting the boot. Brian
got
Dable,
DK
New
and,
York Giants. The Brian Dable experience in New York has been
DK
a
and George
roller coaster,
Pickens,
to
though,
say
that
the
could be
least.
dangerous.
It's not often that a coach wins
I mean,
Coach
not
of the
DK
Year and then
and George
finds himself
Pickens,
on the
I mean,
hot
CD
seat
and
2
George
seasons later. But
Right.
then again, it's not often a team wins a playoff game with Daniel Jones only to immediately fall off a cliff after extending him. Dable's first season looked like a miracle. The offense hit its limitations, the defense made just enough timely plays, and somehow the Giants stole a postseason win. But the last couple of years have
Yeah,
made
they
it all
won
feel
it.
like
They went
less
to
of a
divisional
miracle and more
playoffs
of a
with
mirage.
Giants.
As the Giants have been riddled with injuries, regression, and a quarterback situation that has completely unraveled. Now heading into 2025, the Giants are rolling the dice with a three-headed monster
You
of
got
Jameis
that boy
Winston,
Russ
Russell
and
Wilson,
James.
and Jackson Dart, and hoping for a lightning strike. That wouldn't be such a red flag if this wasn't also a referendum year for Dable, who is simultaneously
I'm like,
trying to
Russ
reclaim
always be
play calling
starter,
duties
Jameis gonna
and
be the
his
backup.
reputation. Winston or
Dart
Wilson
will
may
probably
start
be
the
third
season,
string.
but
Dart
Dable
probably
is
gonna
betting
start
big
next
on the
year.
rookie. If Dart doesn't flash early, or if the offense stumbles out the gate again, the Giants could be in line for another overhaul. Dable is a likable football guy, but likable doesn't keep you employed forever in the NFL.
All that being likable, nicely and shit. You better win some games or you're gonna be out of a job. Nigga. Straight up.
Brian
You better
Callahan,
win some
Tennessee
games or you're gonna be out
Titans.
of a
On
job.
one hand, Brian Callahan was given a shot to be a head coach in
No, I don't
Tennessee.
care about all
The
that
question
being
is,
nice.
though,
Win some
did the
games.
situation he walked into give him a fair one? Unfortunately for Callahan, Tennessee might
Bryce
not be
Callahan.
capable of that. The Titans are a team in transition. With one of the league's most depleted rosters of 2024, they stumbled to a 3-14 finish and were often flat out unwatchable. They landed the #1 overall pick, which of
Yeah,
course
that
is a
boy
good thing.
Cam
But
Ward.
on the other side of that coin is the
they
reality
got
that
a lot.
Callahan has to hit a home run with it, and fast. But if Ward stumbles or the team looks just as disjointed as it did last year, it's not going to matter. The Titans' rebuild needs
Even
a
though they
face.
got Cam
If Callahan
Ward, bro,
can't
they
become
still
that
got,
face
like, a
quickly,
lot. Like,
well, he may end up being a
that whole
placeholder for the
roster,
next
bro,
regime.
they gotta-
Dave Canales, Carolina
Okay, that whole
Panthers.
roster.
While there were definitely signs of improvement down the stretch of the 2024 NFL season for Carolina, the Panthers still looked like a team light years away from relevance. And
I ain't
while
gonna lie, the Panthers, though, the Panthers made some moves this season, though. I don't think, like, I feel like the Panthers, though, like, the Panthers, they got T-Mac, they got, Jimmy Horn, Bryce Young need to step up. Like, this is how I'm saying, like, how y'all could really get mad at Bryce Young, bro? Who the fuck he had? He had fucking, A 34-year-old receiver one. Like, come on, fam, and fucking Jonathan Mingo, fam. Like, come on, bro, the fuck out of
Young's
here, fam.
improvement in the back half of the season was
Fucking
a positive
Jonathan
sign.
Mingo as
The
a
broader
receiver
offensive
too,
picture
fam.
remained erratic
Come on,
and
fam.
toothless. Now heading into
You
2025,
expect
the
this nigga
spotlight
and a
turns back to
35
Canales. Owner David
34-year-old
Tepper
receiver
is
one.
not exactly known for
Adam
his
Thielen, I ain't
patience.
gonna lie, Adam Thielen was doing his thing, though, but come on, fam,
Or for
34.
his good sense, for that matter. And with another full offseason to build out his vision, there won't be many
Right.
excuses left on the table. This
These
year
boys might
is
take a
about
big step
progress.
up.
Measurable, real deal progress. If Young plateaus or if the offense still can't find its footing, Canales could quickly fall out of favor, especially if some of the other rebuilding teams start to flash. The room for error is razor thin in Carolina. Panthers gave him the keys, and now he has to prove that he can drive the thing. But man, it is gonna be uphill. If he can't figure it out and the Panthers regress in any sort of significant way, then well, the tides could quickly turn against Canales. Jonathan Gannon, Arizona Cardinals. After
Arizona
2 seasons,
Cardinals.
Jonathan Gannon is the proud owner of a 12-22 record. And
I don't know how
well,
this
there's
nigga
still
ain't
no
get
real
fired,
identity to
dude.
point to with this Cardinals team. Sure, the defense has improved in flashes, the offense has occasionally shown some spark, but for every step forward, there's like a step
Like
or
I'm
two
saying,
back.
with like I said about Bryce Young, y'all need to build around Kyler too, man. I mean, he only got shit, but like Marvin Harrison, James Conner, like you need to add another receiver.
And
man.
with Kyler Murray now healthy and surrounded by more talent than he's
Trey
had in years
McBride.
past, expectations are going to be very real in 2025. The Cardinals have one of the softer schedules in the
added some
league, and a
pieces
fan
in the
base itching to
draft,
believe
too,
that
though,
this
but-
thing is finally turning around. If they don't capitalize, if they're still losing
And, like, they
winnable
don't win
games
this
or very
season,
much
though,
disconnected from the
Jonathan, bro,
scheme,
you gotta
well,
be
it
out
is
of
going to
there.
fall
They gonna fire your
squarely
skinny
on
nose
Gannon.
eyes,
This
bro.
is one of the
You step
trappings
it
of
up.
culture setting. Eventually, people stop grading your tone and start grading your win-loss column. Gannon has one last real shot to prove that he's more than a storyteller and that he can actually coach this team to tangible results. If the Cardinals underwhelm again, it's hard to see him getting another year. Zach Taylor, Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Taylor is a tough one to pin down. He
Yeah, the
coached in the
Bengals,
Super Bowl
though,
not that long ago,
Bengals
was one of the
straight
best
just they
quarterbacks on
defense,
earth,
though,
and built a
fam.
locker room that generally believes in him. But
It's
look
just
a
they
little
defense.
closer, and the cracks start to show.
Like with the Bengals, fam, like the Bengals ain't had no problem with offense. I'm talking about Joe Burrow throwing for 300, 400 yards, fam. Like Jamar Chase T, them boys going off. Gesicki, them boys going off. It's just the defense. Like the defense can't get no stops. How you gonna win if you can't stop the other team from putting up any type of fucking points? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like if the Bengals have like even a top 15 defense, fam, they would have made the playoffs last year. They probably would have been the Super Bowl, went to the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, if the Bengals get their defense right, though, they're gonna be a problem. They
Through
already a
6
problem with that
seasons,
sorry
Taylor
ass
is actually
defense, so
under
imagine they
500,
got a
and the
defense.
Bengals have made just 2 playoff appearances. Of course, he has a bit of
I'm
a
talking about
cop-out
they
with
putting up almost 40 points a game and still losing. How the fuck? Imagine Joe Burrow got like a San Francisco defense, a Steelers defense.
Joe
That
Burrow
nigga
missing some
had
time? I mean, Taylor has no
Ravens
doubt been dealt a
defense. Man,
difficult
that man
hand
be
injury-wise, but this is still a results business. And at a certain point,
They
the
really
Bengals
gotta
need to
work
start
on the
cashing in.
defense side of
He's
the
not
ball.
on the hottest of seats this season, but if things start slow, it won't take long to warm up in a severe way. But which NFL coaches do you think are going to get fired before the end of 2025? Who do you think we're right on here? Who do you think we're wrong about?
I'm
Is there
like,
any...
who I'm think I'm right though? I think Brian Dable might be out of there. Jonathan Adam Galen might be out of there. Whatever his name, that Cardinals head coach, whatever the fuck his skinny nose name as it, he might be out of there. McDaniel, you don't step it up, nigga. I need you out of there, fam. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm tired of this shit, bro. We need to get a playoff win this season, bro. Dolphins, bro. We need to get a playoff win this season, but real talk. But yeah, man, that's the end of this video, man. You made it to the end, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. I'm out.